men have died in a tragic sewage evacuation incident in Abia State, after they reportedly attempted to manually remove sewage from a location at power line off Umoma Road. The incident has sparked a serious warnings from authorities who are urging residents to stop engaging in unsafe and unapproved method of sewage evacuation. According to the Abia State Orientation Agency, the incident occurred on August 10 when the two men were manually evacuating sewage. The agency described the practice as illegal and dangerous, warning that residents and property owners could put lives at serious risk by relying on unsafe methods instead of approved sewage evacuation services. The tragedy has once again highlighted the dangers associated with working around sewage systems, particularly when the work involves confined spaces, toxic gases, and inadequate protective equipment.
A few minutes ago, somebody called me that 2 persons died this place this morning. So, I'm just surprised. The pit was very small. The collapse was a collapse. But the information I want to remember that the people there and their home they broke back, and the police are going to be. So that is the only information I wanted to give. But I think the police will do the needful. At the end of the day, we'll further the investigation of what really happens here. So that's all I know.
For the two men involved, what may have appeared to be a routine sanitation job ended in tragedy. The Abia State Orientation Agency disclosed the death in a statement issued on Friday, urging residents to learn from the incident and avoid manually evacuating sewage. The agency said residents and property owners should instead use approved sewage evacuation services. That recommendation is significant because sewage systems can present dangers that are not always visible. Confined sewage areas may contain hazardous gases, contaminated materials, and other conditions capable of causing serious injury or death. Without appropriate equipment, ventilation, and professional procedures, entering or manually cleaning such areas can become extremely dangerous. The incident in Abia therefore raises a broader concern about sanitation practices in rapidly growing communities. Sewage evacuation is an essential service for homes, businesses, and other properties, but the process requires proper equipment and trained personnel. When individuals attempt to carry out the work manually, they may unknowingly expose themselves to dangers that can have fatal consequences. The authorities are now asking residents to avoid such practices. The Abia State Orientation Agency specifically warned that manual sewage evacuation is not only unsafe but also illegal. It encouraged residents and property owners to engage approved sewage evacuation providers whenever their septic system requires servicing. The agency also appealed to residents and businesses to use approved waste buckets for proper waste collection. It warned against littering and illegal dumping, stressing that responsible waste disposal is essential for maintaining a healthy environment. This aspect of the warning is important because poor waste management can create additional sanitation problems. When waste is improperly disposed of, it can block drainage system, contaminate the environment, and contribute to public health risk. Authorities therefore want residents to adopt safer and more responsible waste management practices rather than relying on informal methods. But the deaths in Abia are likely to generate questions about whether residents have sufficient access to affordable and reliable sewage evacuation services. If approved services are unavailable, expensive, or difficult to access, some property owners may resort to informal operators. That can create a dangerous cycle in which workers are exposed to hazardous conditions without adequate training or protective equipment. The authorities' warning is therefore not only about individual responsibility. It also highlights the importance of ensuring that residents have access to regulated sanitation services. For families affected by the incident, however, those broader questions cannot bring their loved ones back. Two 2 men have lost their lives while performing a task that authorities said should not have been carried out manually. The tragedy should therefore serve as a warning to anyone who may be considering entering or cleaning a sewage system without professional assistance. One of the most dangerous aspects of sewage-related work is that the threat may not be obvious. A person may approach a sewage pit believing that the job can be completed quickly without realizing that dangerous gases may be present. In confined spaces, the situation can deteriorate rapidly. This is why professional sewage evacuation services use appropriate equipment and procedures designed to reduce exposure to hazardous conditions. The incidents also demonstrate why people should not assume that experience alone makes manual sewage work safe. Even individuals who have performed similar tasks previously may encounter different conditions during another operation. A change in ventilation, the accumulation of toxic gases, or a sudden collapse of surrounding materials can turn an apparently routine task into an emergency. The Abia State Orientation Agency is therefore calling for greater awareness across communities. Residents are being encouraged to prioritize safety and seek professional assistance rather than attempting dangerous sanitation work themselves. Property owners also have a responsibility to ensure that sewage systems on their premises are properly maintained and serviced. The warning extends to businesses as well, particularly those operating in densely populated areas where sanitation problems can affect large numbers of people. The agency's message is clear. Proper waste management is not simply about keeping surroundings clean. It is also about protecting lives. The deaths in Abia have placed that message into sharp focus. 2 people went to manually evacuate sewage and died in the process. Authorities now want residents to understand that sewage evacuation should never be treated as an ordinary do-it-yourself task. The tragedy also reinforces the importance of using approved waste disposal systems and avoiding illegal dumping. A clean environment requires cooperation between residents, businesses, property owners, and government agencies. Residents must dispose of waste responsibly, while authorities must continue enforcing sanitation regulations and ensuring that approved services are accessible. For now, the immediate lesson from the Abia tragedy is unmistakable. A sanitation problem can become a deadly emergency when dangerous methods are used. The Abia State Orientation Agency has urged residents to take the warning seriously and use approved sewage evacuation services to prevent further loss of life. The 2 deaths should not become another statistic. They should serve as a powerful reminder that sanitation work involving sewage requires caution, proper equipment, and professional handling. If you find this report informative, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, and share this video. Your support helps us bring you more breaking and in-depth news from Nigeria and around the world. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next report.